mad at the other woman when their man cheats? Anybody can go with that one. Anybody?
I guess because they feel like that woman made the first move.
Yeah. Okay. Anybody else want to answer on that? I think women get mad when their man cheats on them with the other woman first because they don't take time to realize the root of the problem.
It takes two.
That's right. Exactly right. Instead, they just want to jump up and be like, well, if you hadn't wore this, if you hadn't wore that, if you know, women can't help it if men are attracted to them. And some women aren't going to turn down another man. They are not going to turn them down. So women have to actually get back to the point where they check their man. Don't be out here fighting other women over your man when he's the one giving it up. He's the one violating you, not that other woman. She does too, but initially it's that man. The man is the root. He is the common denominator. The man. Okay, the next question is, does being healthy physically and mentally play a part in creating a good relationship?
Yes.
It does? Why you say yes?
Because if you're not healthy, you're not going to be able to perform and stuff like you want to. And you're going to have complications or something going on.
Are you talking sexually again?
That's what I was going to ask. Don't you know my sex? It can go either way because if you're not healthy and you get to having sex, you can have a heart attack.
Okay, you didn't read enough for sex and read for enough coffee. But I say it does. It does play a part in having a healthy relationship because when we look at men, when men get angry or when men just get built up with a lot of stuff, what do most men go do?
They shut down.
Yeah, some of them do. But when we really look at our men, they go back to nature. They go back to nature like some will go fishing, some will want to go to the beaches, some will want to go hunting and stuff like that. And they go back to a familiar place, which is nature. So nature has its own way of healing that man's mind. And when they come back to the woman, they naturally want to be, the protector and the provider over that woman. And that helps them more mentally and physically. And I think if you got somebody in good, well, I can't say in perfect health, but, if you're doing the best you can, then I think, good relationships can come out of that. And it can make you feel better, too. Because when we feel better, we treat people better. A lot of men, though, they get this high blood pressure and stuff, and they don't want to be checked. They don't want to go to the doctor. They get diabetes just as much as women do, have heart attacks and strokes just as much as women do. But because they don't go to the doctor, they walk around angry and think that the woman is doing something to them, but it's not. What it is their health. And I have watched this. Now, look, I have watched this among men in my community and surrounding communities. Those men who used to be arguing and fussing and fighting in their 30s and 40s, they got on high blood pressure medication, and now they're acting like normal grandpas. So when the problem was diagnosed that it was in their health, they was able to get it treated and come back to acting the way they're supposed to act. It calmed them down a whole lot. So, ladies, I want to encourage you, if you do have men, make sure they're getting the regular checkups and stuff. It will improve your relationship a whole lot. Okay, so the next question is, did anybody else have anything they wanted to say on that part, though, before I go to the next one? Okay, so why do people think opposites attract?
They don't.
I was, Go ahead, say that again.
They don't.
They don't.
No. What's the question?
The question was, why do people think opposites attract?
Because it's two different people.
Do you think opposites attract?
Yeah, I do.
Why you think that?
Because you can have one that's serious, and then you can have another one that's playful, and they can bring the playful side out of the serious one. You know, just an example. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That sounds like me. One serious and one silly.
Yeah.
Well, I think in order for opposites to attract, you can look different on the outside, but your heart has to be the same. Your heart has to be going the same way. You have to be on one accord. Even though the outside is different, you have to be on one accord. And opposites don't always attract. You know, we grew up thinking that good girl, bad boy, that's what everybody wanted. And I ain't going to lie, I tried the thugging and stuff. Good girl and thugging. I'm going to tell you what happened. This is what happened. I ended up basically being a thug myself. So that type of attraction did not work at all. And it kept me in bondage for 20-some years. Because here I was walking around trying to be like a thug, a dude, and and it just didn't work. So good girl, bad girl, you got to be careful of the apples that you choose. You got to be careful of that. And, you know, it's tricky. It's tricky because that's the way a lot of us are taught that, you know, that fat and skinny is not the same thing as being a bad person and a good person. It's totally different. A bad person will lead another person to do bad. A good person can lead a person to do a bad person to do good, but if you're not on one accord, it's not going to work. It's not going to work. So I thought that was a good question. Okay, does anybody have anything else? And Tammy, I want you to drink some ice water. Sound like you hot tonight. Oh, Lord, every question. Well, you know, we do. You know what? We do have to talk about sex, even in the churches. I think if more people would take the time to let these women know what they're getting into, we could resolve a lot of issues, a lot of domestic violence, a lot of abortions and stuff. We could prevent a whole lot of that. But because we don't take the time to tell women, hey, sex is more than sex. You know, it's cute, but it's going to bring some stuff along with it. You know, we tell them to prevent against AIDS and all that stuff and having babies, but we don't tell them what the penetration itself will do. Because sex is a powerful drug, and we don't talk about that. We need to let more people know that if you're going to be out here having sex, then you're going to have to suffer with those consequences. And those consequences may be you may become attached to somebody who just wanted a one-night stand or just wanted a booty call. But here your feelings and jump way up here to the sky, and they still on the ground. Then you're going to get hurt because you riding off in a sexual high and not looking at the reality. The reality is, and nobody wants to be used, but reality is a lot of women and men do use each other, especially in this day and age of technology. Nobody has real relationships anymore. Nobody really wants to sit down, go out together. Everything is through technology. I'm going to FaceTime you. I'm going to text you. You know, so we have to let women know if you do go out here and have sex, you run more than the risk of contracting a disease. You run the risk of getting depressed afterwards. And people don't talk about that. What do y'all think about that? If we're going to teach, we're going to have to teach it right.
Yeah.
Because fact is, a lot of men would not be dead now from domestic violence if that woman had not went crazy over how good his stuff was. Fact is, a lot of women would not be in the ground right now if that man had not went crazy just over her stuff. If they had took the time to see if this is what they really wanted and knew the risk of having sex, then maybe some of these deaths could have been prevented. And that's why most people stay in these long-term abusive, toxic relationships for the sex. If you take the sex away, you have nothing. You have nothing when you're in a toxic relationship. Sometimes sex is the only thing that's keeping two people together. But if you take it away, you'll see. You'll be able to see clearly. Maybe not in the first 2 months, though, because, you know, you're still running off in that sexual high and that sexual peak. And we just have to really be honest with ourselves. Not everybody's just going to come at us just because they think we're cute or because they've got our best interest. Some of these guys and women are just going to come to get what they want to get and move on to the next. Oops, excuse me. Okay. Does anybody have anything else they want to say for tonight? Next time, ladies, we do open chat. Do your research on your questions so that you'll have more to say in behind it. Whatever it is that you really wanted to topics on, you know, at least, you know, go and read and see what's going on so that you can bring more to the table to put out there. We had a good time, though, right?
Yeah.
And I think that, you know, when women open up like this, you know, it relieves a lot. It relieves a lot off the chest because we never know what one is going through unless you tell us. And I'm going through the phase right now. I'll be one of the honest ones. You know, because I'm a firm believer in what God can do in my life. So I don't mind being honest about where I'm at in life because God is walking with me and he gave me this life. One of the things that I'm having trouble dealing with is when a man don't text back on time. Now, I had no idea I had text rage. I had no idea I had text rage like that. And until I asked that question today on Facebook, I said, how often should, you know, couples text throughout the day, you know, or whatever. But that question wasn't for me. It was for my radio station. But then it got me to thinking. I was like, God, I just realized I got text rage. Because sometimes I get upset, you know, whenever he can't get back with me on time and stuff, and then come to find out it don't be nothing but he be at the hospital or either off playing and stuff, you know. So, you know, there are little simple things that can set us off, and we have to be able to talk amongst each other to help each other. Does anybody else have anything else they want to say before we end this broadcast here? Y'all homework assignment is to do the homework assignment that you didn't do last week. We need it to go forward. We need it to go forward. I ain't forgetting. Look, I'm right. I've been writing since we've been talking. Because believe it or not, even in this discussion like this, God is downloading stuff into me and saying these are the areas you need to target. And the areas that he's telling me that I need to target ain't even where y'all were asking questions at. It ain't even in that area. So y'all can look out. Y'all can look out. It's coming. Yeah. But I appreciate everybody coming on the line tonight and joining in. I hope that you were able to take something